Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Death Metal. It's the Death Rattle podcast. I am your host, Kanan Becker, and with me is DJ Remark, who we still can't hear, but he is here. You can see him, but you can't hear him. Let me know if you can hear me, because I'm not hearing him at the very least. But how is everybody? How are you guys doing? Let me see what's going on. Make sure you can hear me. Gotta love difficulties out of the box. There you are.
Hello.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
Hey.
I got you.
All right. Let's try this again. Hang on. All righty. What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. And you are listening to and watching the Death Rattle podcast. I'm your host, DJ, and from Horror Sucks. And this is your co-host, Kanan Becker from Ghost Pirate Entertainment. What's going on, everybody? What a great, awesome, normal start for the show.
I know. Totally.
No technical difficulties, nothing.
That kind of always happens when we don't get a chance to kind of like do pre-checks. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm sorry.
Because like for those of you that don't know, behind the scenes, DJ was running late, thought he wasn't going to make it, made it like last second. So we just went for it. Normally we have like 10 minutes to kind of make sure everybody, all our sound stuff's checked and whatnot. So, but either way, we're here.
We are here, and so are you. We're going to say hello to the chat. What's going on, John Lamb? Good to see you. Oddender, hey, it's been a minute, man. Good to see you. It says you're always making smash burgers when you tune in. That's awesome. Make me one. Philly's Blunt is here. What's going on? Saya, what's going on? Mr. Jim, Jordan, hello. Jamal, good to see you. Nightingale, what's going on? Clever Cleaver, what's up? Heather's here. All right, is that everybody so far? Gaston, what's going on? The dynamic duo is back. That's right. We're here. And everybody, Saya says DJ is always facing technical. I know it's because I'm such an unprofessional amateur idiot. So, but anyway, Kaleidoscope is here. What's going on, guys? Casey, Grindhouse Ghoul is here. What's up? Saya says, let's blame the full moon. We are going to blame that full moon. So we had like a weird, like pink strawberry moon last night.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't see it. I don't think
that's what it was called. Here. That's what it was called.
Like you're closer to the equator than I am, so I think that's why a lot of times in Florida you'll see cool things like that we don't.
Well, anyway,
like the eclipse, we didn't get the eclipse like the full lunar or full daytime eclipse or whatever.
Yeah.
Like last year or whatever, a few months ago, we didn't get that at all here. Whereas out there, it was like pretty big deal. So
yeah,
man, I'm still stuck on the smash burger.
Smash burgers are good,
dude. It's like my favorite type of burger, man. But I'm struggling to find a good place near me. Like I've had good ones, but never when I'm in town. It's like I'm still trying to find one in the Sacramento area that's really good.
Yeah,
because like the place smash burger is not that great, and like any of the fast food type of places that make them, like they're decent, but they're not like amazing or anything.
Yeah,
but I just need to get the shit and make them myself, because you need to have like the meat press to make them right.
So we got a couple of trailers we're gonna watch. Kind of a slow news week. Not
really. You just didn't do your homework and watch the movies you were supposed to.
Well, you didn't tell me. I watched a movie I was supposed to watch.
Yeah,
but you didn't tell me of.
So you're not in trouble, dude. Dangerous Animals. It sucks. It's one of the best Shudder movies, I think. Like, I honestly think it's up there as far as people will love it. Up there with Devil, Late Night with the Devil.
Oh,
like, I think it's going to be right up there as far as like it's not that kind of movie. Like it's super serious serial killer. Like I keep telling everybody, it's like Wolf Creek, but on the ocean kind of thing. Except for except for it's not quite as bleak and grim. Like you don't leave the movie feeling like basically like depressed or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a little more fun and excitement and action in it. But dude, it is so much fun. Like the way they tie a serial killer and shark attack stuff together is just brilliant. It's so fun. Dude, the Aussies are out of control right now. Like they are just, dude, they're just absolutely killing it right now.
Well, I'm gonna try to see it tomorrow.
It's so good, but it sucks. It's like I said, it's barely playing anywhere.
Yeah, I was surprised that it's playing at the theater near me, but it is. So,
but hey, at least it's playing more than that Al Pacino horror movie. The
oh my god,
it's not playing anywhere. Like
it's playing at the theaters here. I might go see it.
Trying to find it. It's not anywhere near me at all. Like
I might go see it.
Is like down like basically in LA, Southern California is where it's playing.
Well, you don't want to go there right now.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends down there. It's not like, I don't know, man. It sucks with stuff like that. It always the way the news makes it look like it's like the entire city of LA is on fire.
Well,
it's not. It's literally like a 6-block area of downtown LA, which is also like the shittiest part of LA. So it's kind of always fucked up. It's like never the place that most of the people that live down there go anyway. So it's like,
I saw so I'm going to say one thing about that. So the media is all about rage porn, right? So if there's anything that they can like get out there to make people start just reeing all over the place, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
So that's all.
I think a lot of people, like, I understand. I'm not saying that the media isn't biased, like that they don't have an agenda as far as which political party they promote or anything. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I will say that a lot of it, it's the same thing as YouTube. It's the same thing as magazines. It's the same thing as everything. It's about money. Yeah.
You want people
to click on shit.
Like,
you want people to click.
If so you know who,
if peace sold, you would see a lot more peace in the news. It's that simple.
If you know who, I think his first name was Andrew. Hang on. Yeah, Andrew Breitbart. He said that same thing like back in the Obama administration was like, look, the media is all about the money. So just follow where the money's coming from. And that's what the media is going to report on.
Yep.
And Andrew Breitbart is great. He was like one of the last journalists I would.
And
I'm
not,
say.
Like I said, I'm not saying that because a lot of the people in charge of a lot of the big media companies, like the ABCs, the CBS, you know what I mean? Those guys are, a lot of them are very extreme left-wing kind of stuff. So like I get, but a lot of it still at the end of the day comes down to clicks, man.
Yeah. It's all content.
I mean, like
I stopped watching the news.
People are
stopped watching the news years ago because it's all just content. That's all it is. It's content. But I saw this.
I know the LA thing versus like the news way is because I know people down there, and also, dude, on YouTube it's great. You can watch regular people with their phones and their cameras. Yeah. And like you get a really good sense of what it's actually like. Most of the problem is like after it gets dark, all the hoodlums, people come out, they're all wearing masks. Like I've seen hours of it at this point of watching it live where people looting shit. Like those are the troublemakers. This has nothing to do at all with anybody protesting anything. Those guys are simply, or guys and gals, they're straight up taking advantage of the situation and trying to get some money and steal shit. Like it's that simple, dude. It's ridiculous. I watched them breaking into the Apple store. I watched them breaking into the CVS pharmacy, like running out with fucking packs of diapers and shit. And like, it's insane, dude. It's nothing at all. And it's so easy for the rest of the country to see the news and think, oh, the problems, LA's on fire because of the protests. It's like, no, LA's on fire because of the looters, because of the assholes. Like even the people blowing up the cars, those are not your peaceful protesters like 99% of the people out there are. And I'm not saying I even agree with the protest. I'm just simply saying, like, don't let the media confuse what is actually really happening.
Yeah.
You know,
Philly's gifted 1 Ghost Pirate Entertainment membership. So to the
lucky receiver of that membership,
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
I saw this meme on a page I follow, and I just thought it was funny. That's why I wanted to put it up there. It says everyone in LA. When the Marines get here, just hand them your screenplay so they leave immediately.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was funny. Clever wants to know, would you classify Dangerous Animals as a serial killer horror or a creature feature like Jaws?
No, it's a serial killer horror movie.
Nice.
It's like basically it's a serial killer who is obsessed with sharks and uses sharks in different ways to enact a ritual is the best way of putting it.
That's awesome.
And I'm not going to get into the detail of what all he does, but like he's got a whole, like every serial killer has like their ritual. They use like certain knives, or they use the choking of some kind, or whatever. They have like different things, just like they take souvenirs from each kill and stuff like that. So his is just a shark, or sharks, I should say, are involved in his ritual.
Yeah. Saya watched Companion the other night, and she liked it so much more than she expected. That's awesome.
Companion just saw movie. Companion? Wow, I thought everybody had seen that movie at this point.
Well, we got some breaking news. I'm gonna share this. We got some breaking news. Robert Eggers is directing his own A Christmas Carol for Warner Brothers.
Yep. I just saw that hit Twitter a few minutes before we went on.
This is from Bloody Disgusting. In addition to his werewolf movie, Werewolf.
Yeah, which Robert Eggers, like, when is he shooting? Go ahead and read it, because it probably tells me in here.
Yeah, Robert Eggers will also be directing a new take on A Christmas Carol for Warner Brothers. Eggers will write and direct his own adaptation of the classic Christmas ghost story with frequent Eggers collaborator Willem Dafoe, reportedly being eyed to play Ebenezer Scrooge. That's fucking awesome.
Perfect.
That's
what a perfect
awesome.
casting. Holy shit.
Deadline notes for clarity. Insiders add, while negotiations are not underway with any talent, Eggers is writing the role of Scrooge I mean, that makes sense. He's been doing that for all of his movies. Yeah. Chris Columbus and Eleanor Columbus are attached to produce. And then it's just about Charles Dickens. I mean, everybody, well, if you don't know about A Christmas Carol, you need to stop living under a rock and go read
I know. There's so many adaptations of it.
Although here's the thing.
Say to this day, the Muppet version is probably
the Muppet version is the best version.
Yep.
It's so the best retelling. And the reason why.
But I think Eggers is perfect.
I
to make one.
I think so too.
I almost think he could do a better Christmas Carol than he can Nosferatu. You know what I mean? And like, I love Nosferatu, but I almost feel like he's more perfectly suited for that time period. The look and all that almost fits better, because Nosferatu basically is that, like, in that rough kind of time period. Well, like, I feel like his aesthetic and everything almost fits better in a Christmas Carol setting. So it's just, I mean,
perfect. Willem Dafoe has his acting chops. He's got his work cut out for him to beat Michael Caine's performance, because I mean, Michael Caine was just fucking great as Scrooge.
I know, but I think Dafoe is the greatest living actor on the planet right now.
That may be true, but I mean, he's gonna have to do it.
I know. I agree. Michael Caine was
that makes me excited
in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you could, like, I can't think of anyone that I feel like is better casted for Ebenezer Scrooge.
No, I think you're right.
I'm not saying that his performance will be better than whoever, whatever. I'm just saying, as far as anybody acting right now, I think that's like the perfect casting.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because we're seeing this happen quite a bit now, where, like in this case, Eggers is now using Dafoe in like, his different projects, because he like fits really well with his, style of directing and whatever. But it's really cool how Mike Flanagan is that way. So like when I saw Life of Chuck, it's so cool seeing his whole cast, like all these people that have been in all these different TV series. And like, if you watch Flanagan's stuff, you're gonna recognize most of the cast. And in most of his projects, you'll recognize a lot of the cast. Sometimes it'll be one person that plays a little itty bitty part in this one show, and now in this show, that person plays a big role, or vice versa. Because like in this, his wife plays a tiny role in Life of Chuck, whereas like she's one of the main people in like Midnight Mass. She was like,
right,
one, like really kind of the focal point of the movie. So. but it's so cool because all these actors are so good. And I don't know, it's hard to even explain, but I really like seeing this. Like this, it's like this team, this troupe of film of creators going around with their crew. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's how you got to do it. Okay, so that's some breaking news there. Do you want to get into these trailers, or do you want to look for some more news?
Yeah, we can go into the trailers.
Okay. So I want to watch.
Know if you're watching this on the replay, most of the time this section of the video will be cut out. So
yeah,
I'm going to start saying that anytime we do trailers that, you know, if we talk about watching a trailer and then all of a sudden it skips, it's not that anything happened on your end or whatever. It's just, we have to cut them out usually once this is posted.
Yeah. Cause we're always getting hit.
Copyright. They won't let they won't let us use it. So,
so
at least on the Ghost Power channel.
Oh my God. I want to do the one that we both haven't seen yet. Or have you seen Abraham's Boys?
This is the one that's coming to Shudder like this week, right?
Yeah.
Or soon. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I know I've heard the name recently, people talking about, but I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Yeah. So this is Abraham's Boys, and I'm going to bring it up. And here, so I'm going to hide the chat for now, and we're going to watch this trailer. Abraham's Boys.
Cool.
I have made a disturbing discovery. Perhaps it was foolish of me to think that we could hide away forever. I have known for a long time that it might come.
I like the 4:3 aspect ratio.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Wonder why this
is the Van Helsing
theaters.
The world is getting smaller, closing in on us.
Van Helsing.
But then we'll always do what is best
Holy
for
shit,
our family.
This is Joe Hill?
I'm sure you've noticed your mother has been acting
It's even more weird.
strange
Why
lately.
did this not go to theater?
I don't know.
You must understand these demons can cross great oceans.
Maybe the oversaturation.
We will set a perimeter.
Vampire.
We are safe here.
Do you think we're in danger?
What do you mean?
What if they're already inside?
I need you to help me protect
Don't
her.
quote Stephen King. Anytime
know.
I see someone quote Stephen King, I'm like, great.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the most. Everybody knows, like, if you follow Stephen King at all, that the worst projects ever, he'll be like, it's the best thing.
It's
I've
great.
Ever seen.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I think it's never about money or anything. It's not like anybody pays Stephen King to say this stuff.
It's his
just
name.
Like, well, no, I'm saying like I don't know if he just likes everything or what the deal is, but it's like, well, you never see
he likes
him
everything. He likes everything but The Shining.
Yeah.
That's the only.
Well, I can understand, because when it's your own project and it's dramatically changed, like he cannot see The Shining for what it is, and I get it, because it's not his book. It's like someone took the name and the notoriety of that book and like completely changed it.
Yeah.
And so like I get his problems with it. I'm just saying, like, it just seems like he's quoted for like the most shitty projects of being like, it's a great, like Salem's Lot last year. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's finish this.
I want to be ready for him.
We must not abandon hope, son. Now is the time to rid the world of the demon. King Demon himself.
You're insane.
Evil is real.
That's an interesting idea.
I like it.
I don't know how I didn't hear about this. Like, maybe I did. Maybe I did. But
maybe it did.
Still, like, I love that idea of like basically, because my guess is that, this is Abraham. Well, we know it's Abraham Van Helsing, and so like Dracula, he's somehow ended up with one of Dracula's brides, and so Dracula is hunting him, trying to find his bride and take her back. So like, it's kind of Nosferatu, you know what I mean? The only real difference is that, it's Van Helsing, but like, it's still a cool idea that like years and years have gone by and he's like in hiding and he's got boys now with her and stuff. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested to see that. Let's see what some of the chat has to say. Vorpal's in the chat, says greetings. What's going on, Vorpal? Jerry says Canon Live. Yes, please. Cheese Tut says my dad says it's scary. Baker Man, what's going on? Jobit says lol, everything but The Shining. Yep, that's right. Chris says because The Shining is better than the book. Whoa, hot take there.
I just think they're very different.
Yeah,
like they have because like the book is more like Jack is not nearly as much of a piece of shit as he is in the series.
Yeah,
like that's there's tonally a lot of dramatically different things about it. So what the story Stephen King was trying to tell, kind of thing, has changed quite a bit in the movie. The movie, it's almost more about spousal abuse, and about an abusive spouse kind of thing, and alcoholism. You know what I mean? And like, that's not, I don't know. It's just a different tone of things, but.
All right, well, let's get to, and I'm trying, I don't know why, but I'm trying to have these banners about what we're talking about, and I just forget to put them up. So I was supposed to have that up while we were playing. So I'm going to have this up now.
Okay.
Because this is a trailer.
I also think it has to do with also like Stephen King being friends with someone, because Flanagan has dramatically changed stuff of Stephen King's, and Stephen King's always like loves it. So I think it also has to do with that, because it was basically stolen from Stephen King, because he was supposed to write the script, and then what's his name, the director of The Shining,
Kubrick.
Yeah, Kubrick was basically like, I don't like it, and went and rewrote the entire script. So I think it's more of that. And that's why, as much as I love Stephen King, his opinions are, because I don't feel like he's got like he like dislikes things for not because something's wrong with it, but more of like personal reasons, or he'll like something more on personal reasons. It's like, oh, a friend of his, and so he likes it, that kind of thing,
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all I mean when I say like his opinion. It's not that he shouldn't have an opinion. I don't mean that. I just think like his opinion isn't always so much about the quality of the thing, and more about, it's my friend, and so I like it.
Yeah.
That guy's an asshole to me, and so I hate it.
All right, so we're gonna do. So this is a trailer that someone in the chat recommended us on a comment. So on our last
bunch of people.
our last stream. Well, yeah, but okay. So if you comment on Ghost Pirate, if you comment on the Ghost Pirate stream, we're probably not going to be able to respond to everything. If you comment on the Death Rattle stream, because that's where this main podcast is hosted, is on Death Rattle. If you comment on our lives there, we can respond better and do stuff. So somebody commented that we should watch this trailer, and so we're gonna watch it because we had it. So we're gonna watch it. Here it is. This is a movie. I have not seen this yet.
I think I started watching it. I don't remember if I finished it. Like, I remember being like, yeah, this does not look like anything I'm interested in at all. But
Jimmy and Stiggs, this is it. So
and now it says Abraham Boys. What is going on with you in the banners, dude?
There
we go.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna hide chat, and we're gonna watch the Jimmy and Stiggs trailer. So let's see.
I gotta record this. I gotta put it down somewhere because last night I blacked out for 12 hours.
And this wasn't a normal blackout. It was something different, like a big chunk of missing fucking time. I got these
Isn't that what a blackout is?
pains in my jaw, like somebody put something in.
Huh?
If maybe this is Joe Begos. What's the name of this movie?
Jimmy and Stiggs.
Keep playing it.
Okay.
Inside me. Whatever took me last night, they're coming back tonight. I can feel it.
It is Joe
I don't
Begos.
know how many of those big-eyed, melon-headed fucks
No,
are
I
coming
might
back.
actually
but
like
I'm gonna
this.
be ready, and I'm gonna take those fuckers out.
Because I love his movies. Like he's got
Oh, look at that.
this style.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know what movie this is now. Never mind.
So, okay. So here's the thing. So something that you guys might want to know about me. I am deathly afraid of aliens. Like it's a legit
Really?
fear that I have. Yes. It is a legit
Yeah, but
fear
when
that
they
I
look
have.
like that,
Even when the gray aliens, yeah, with the eyes and the thing, yeah, I'm legitimately afraid of aliens. Yeah.
so this is
And-
like I was getting this confused with something else because this is the movie that basically has been being made for like years. Like Joe, it's not Begos. I always say Begos. It's Joe. I forget how it's his last name is actually pronounced, but him and his buddy have basically been
Begos?
doing this. Yeah, Begos. Him and his buddy have been working on this movie for like a number of years. I don't remember how many years, but Rebecca McKendry was talking about it on the Color of the Dark podcast. And so like this is like a passion project. It's like literally they would shoot it on weekends and like in between projects and things and using like all their own money and friends and like that whole thing. So it's like literally like the most DIY kind of thing you can do.
There's like 1,000 producers on this.
Yeah, because it's
There's
basically
the crew is like 10 people and the cast is 5. There's more producers than crew.
Yeah, because all the producers are basically just like friends of theirs that are like, you know, here's some money, you know, they would be like, we need to do this weekend, you know, and so they would basically making things as they had time and or money to do whatever.
That's so great. Well, I'm loving the trailer so far. All right, let's finish this.
Yeah. So I think yeah, what it said right there is this is inspired by movies like Bad Taste.
4 years of shooting, that said.
Yeah.
This
like
looks
like it said, this is basically like their tribute to movies like Brain Dead and
I'm going to love this.
Stuff like that.
And
yeah,
people are going to get pissed at me because they're going to be like, you always fucking talk about story and character and this bullshit, and this movie has none of it, and you fucking love it. Like,
because
like
this knows,
like, I'm gonna
yeah, but
get
this
that.
knows what it is. Like, this is
right.
This isn't trying to be like cinema. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is trying to be like almost like a cartoon. It's like
yeah,
fun.
this is grindhouse cartoon. Oh god,
exactly.
I'm gonna love this. I know.
Like just like Christmas Bloody Christmas, which is Joe Begos' last movie, and I love that movie because of the same thing. It's like a fucking dude walking around basically as a robotic Santa Claus, and it's all gory and stupid, and everybody's swearing too much, and it's like, I just think it's a good time. It's like it knows.
I'm gonna love this. I know I am. Oh, they shot it on 16 millimeter. Hell yeah!
No wonder why it took them so long. That's not
right.
cheap.
Fuck.
Heavy metal. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's presented by Eli Roth. That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, sorry. Flashing lights warning, everybody.
So it's actually getting a theatrical release. Like, I forgot about that. Bought by
August 15th. That's my birthday. No, it's not my birthday, but that's my birthday weekend. I'm gonna go see this for my birthday.
Eli Roth basically is why it's being able to get distribution.
Oh my god, that looks awesome!
But it's actually getting a theatrical release. I think it's going through the same guys that released the Terrifier movies, and they're the ones that are releasing the upcoming Toxic Avenger movie. like that company.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great. Okay, so we got a couple of comments. Jack, we can't watch it today, but leave us a comment on this video after it uploads and on the Death Rattle side, and we'll get to it.
Hold on. What is he saying? I waited a year for a desert by Yellow Velvet. Is it called a desert?
No. I think he meant trailer. It's because
what trailer is it?
Hang on, it's
a
desert by Yellowville Pictures. Yes. Okay. So leave us a comment, and we'll get to it. We can't get to it today, but we will get to it. So don't worry. Mr. Wonderful says, DJ, who trolled you wearing an alien costume to get a jump scare out of you? I don't know. I don't know how my fear of aliens like actually started, but they make me uneasy, and just alien movies, they're just so good at getting me. Like I don't know. Because I think
it's getting a theatrical release, dude, and like we do cover little indie movies, but if it's just something that's straight to VOD, we can't cover everything that fits in that category. It's one thing when it's Abraham because that's going to Shudder, you know what I mean? Like, but when it's a VOD and people got to go rent it for $10 or whatever, like that's at least I don't cover that kind of stuff because it's so much of it, and the good ones will eventually end up over on Shudder or Netflix or wherever, and then we will cover them or we'll see them or whatever. But like this looks like, like I'm not saying it's not going to be a good movie, but we can't cover. There's literally 100 or more of this type of movie that comes out every year.
Yeah, but leave us a comment. We'll watch the trailer. Mr. Wonderful says probably producers from Fiverr. That's funny. Philly says looks like glow in the dark mini golf. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Chris says gather all your.
This movie isn't even like I don't know what he's talking about. Like this movie's already out. It's on streaming for $6.99.
I don't know, but he wants us to watch the trailer. So
I know, but no, like you can promise. I'm not promising to watch any trailer just because you comment on it. I get way too many of them.
That's
I literally get hundreds of them.
I can't. On the Death Rattle side, not on the Ghost Pirate side.
I'm just saying, I am not making promises. It's a promise I cannot start making.
All right.
I got people that are constantly wanting me to cover their movies. I get emails daily of people who have little projects that are wanting me to review them or at least watch the trailer, and I can't do it. It sucks, but I just, I can't. Like, it's like you have to figure out, like I had to figure out pretty quickly on, like, there's only certain things I can cover. And that's why my barometer is basically things that are coming to a streaming service that have a little bit of a buzz or into a theater. If it's into theater, I will see it. Every horror movie that is in theaters that is anywhere near me, I see. So, but yeah.
All right. Chris says, gather all your most insane friends. You have to go watch this movie. Jamal says, looks like a fun one. John Connor says, our man, Eli Roth.
It reminds me of Evil Aliens. Have you seen Evil Aliens?
I don't think so.
Dude, you would love that movie. It's very similar to that. It's so fun. Like, I think it's even more low budget, but it's definitely up your speed, dude. It's like these crazy ass alien, just
nice
bonkers concepts and like gory. It's so cool.
Citizen Sleeve says you should definitely watch the trailer for The Sound mountain climbing horror movie. Yeah, leave us a comment.
What I mean?
Leave us a comment.
No, don't start this.
Clever Cleaver says looks rad, fun, bonkers, alien kill horror comedy. One to get a keg, some wings, and invite. Yes, one to get a keg, some wings, and invite friends over to watch. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like Fried Berry. Vorpal said it flashed by too fast. Didn't understand the things I saw.
No, you're not. Well, I don't. The trailer is that way. I think the movie itself is going to be that way, where you're not going to totally understand everything that's going on. It's just like batshit crazy.
Yeah. Horace says, "What's up, everybody? What's going on, Horace? Good to see you." Okay, let me see here. John says it's the fear of the anal probe that probably scares me. Yes, all of it. All right. I think we are all caught up. Everybody's saying hi to everybody in the chat. Sweet. Okay, so moving on. Because we're probably gonna be talking about this for a little bit. Predator, Killer of Killers. Do you want to start this off with a trailer, or do you want to just expect people to know what this is?
Yeah, I mean, I would be shocked if people don't know what this is.
You'd be shocked if people didn't know what Predator, Killer of Killers is.
Yeah, like it's on Hulu. Everybody watched it.
Hulu. It's a straight to Hulu movie.
Yeah, but it's made by Trachtenberg, the same guy who made Prey and who is also making the next Predator that comes out in November. Like everybody's been talking about this. Sometimes you're a little bit under a rock.
I
don't think you follow the like social media world like
I don't. I hate social media.
But yeah, this movie exploded this weekend. Like it was trending.
Well, yeah.
Like it was not only trending in the horror community, it was literally trending on Twitter. It was like one of the biggest. It is the biggest animated release on a streaming platform to date.
What do you mean the biggest?
Like the most watched.
Wow.
From what Hulu said.
Well, okay. Let me address this. Saya wants to know if she missed the trailer for the Hellgate. No, that is not this week. Next Wednesday, we are showing the trailer for the Hellgate next Wednesday on Death Rattle exclusively. So that's when it's being released. So you're gonna, if you want to see it, if you want to see the trailer for the Hellgate, we will be playing it on Death Rattle. So it's not tonight, it's next Wednesday, so that we have some time to promote it and work the show around it. So we're gonna be next Wednesday. That's when that is. So if that's all you came here for, sorry, but we hope you stick around. Which that's not.
I doubt that. This is like most of our regulars.
I know. Okay. So all right. So Predator, Killer of Killers. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Dude, this is my second favorite Predator. Period.
Okay.
Like it is incredible, dude. Like I think you need to get your head examined because I can already tell that you had problems with it. And I just don't see how you could have problems with this. This does everything everybody wants. Yeah, this does everything that everybody wants from a Predator movie.
Does it?
Dude, it shows you all these different times. Okay, what are your feelings on it?
This movie is piss.
What? I think you're alone on that. Like I haven't seen a single person besides you.
I am not alone.
Disliking it.
When I released my review on my channel, it's the most engaged with review that I've posted this year. With people agreeing with me, sick and tired of seeing all this positive.
Well, yeah. You have a channel that's called Horror Sucks. So you're gonna get all the negative fucks over there.
So the movie right off the bat does not it establishes rules and then breaks them. It doesn't follow.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Hold on. What rules?
Well, so the rules, the first story, which is already like, it's already kind of unbelievable, but dude, whatever.
It's got a 95% on Rotten Tomato. 90% from the audience.
Don't care.
Like when the critics and the fans or the regular public agree this much on something, like I think that there might be something you should look in the mirror at with yourself.
No,
no, you're literally part of 5% of the human race.
So what? All it takes, it doesn't matter. I could be 1%.
Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
What are the rules that it set that it broke?
So first off, it's already the story for the first one about Ursa. Like she's already so fucking overpowered that we see on screen. Like she might as well be an Amazonian from Wonder Woman. Like that's from all of the feats that she's able to accomplish, but she's not. She's she's just a regular woman.
This is animated. That's why this is a cartoon.
Animated.
No, but that's why it is. Everything is like that. The Predators are more superhuman. The guy running around the airplane like
The
he's a
second
fucking
story
monkey.
is the most.
That's
the
not
second
realistic.
story- the
Nothing
second
is
story-
realistic in
The
this.
second story, the samurai one, is the most grounded. That's the best one out of the three. This
But
first
that
one
I
is
don't understand because it is
ridiculous.
animated.
It
I
doesn't
would
matter.
think that
Who cares
No.
if it's animated?
because it sets up itself from the very beginning that is the world we're living in with this. Like, I don't know why. I have noticed this about you. You struggle to pick up on like the rules of the universe that you're in.
No,
this
I
movie
don't.
From the very beginning,
Okay,
tells you like,
you
hey,
show
this is an
me-
animated version of Predator, so
Okay.
everything is going to be heightened. This is
Okay.
not grounded. This is
Okay.
not the movies. This is an animated, so everything is.
The first
heightened.
Predator was pretty fucking
That's
grounded.
why. I know this is animated.
So what?
It's like
That-
G.I.
the
Joe.
only reason- the only thing that animation does for you is give you more freedom to do something that's a
Exactly,
little more
and
ambitious.
so that's
That doesn't
that's
mean
what
that doesn't
they
give you a
did here.
pass. That doesn't give you a
it gives you a
pass.
pass if
to
you
be-
set up
to
this
be
is the world we're in.
ridiculous. It doesn't
It's
give
like-
you a pass to be
hold on,
ridiculous.
Hold on, pause.
Especially if you're trying.
That's like you saying,
tell a story that's
you watching a
grounded in
fucking
reality.
Superman movie, and you're like,
Let me get to
the
it.
guy,
You haven't even
there's
let
no
me-
way that Superman should be able to fly.
What? No.
Humans
Yeah,
can't
no,
fly.
no. Because if you, yeah, fine. Let's talk about Superman. So how does Superman fly? He's an alien that gets these enhanced abilities from the power of a yellow sun, so he can fly. Okay. But he also has a foil. The foil is kryptonite.
Okay, let's
that's
go with
fine.
Batman.
These are the
You have a
rules.
problem with
Wait,
Batman now because Batman's not grounded.
Wait. Batman's the most grounded superhero.
Yeah,
You
but he's still
establish these
not.
rules-
He's
You
a
establish these
superhero.
rules. I'm going to keep talking. You establish these rules with Superman, and then what? And then so you have these rules, and then every time you see Superman, he abides by all of the rules of Superman. He doesn't just magically do other unexplainable things and then just go, "Oh, it's just a thing that I can do now."
But this is
Ursa
something that
It's
this
supposed
is
to
something
be
that all animated versions of things have done. They do. It's the
No.
reason you make an animated
No, it's
version
not.
of it is so that you can
Dude.
heighten everything. Yes, it is.
You
Look at
can
the
heighten it.
Chronicles of Riddick.
You
Chronicles
can-
of Riddick trilogy
Chronicles
or
of
whatever.
Riddick is fine.
Yeah, the animated one, way more heightened. Riddick is much more super powered in
Okay.
that than it's not grounded. Like that's why
Ursa
you
is
do it
able to-
animated.
Ursa is able to take
And it's
on.
not like she can fly and shit.
Ursa, she might as well. Ursa is able to take on men twice her size at like 2 of them at a time. When she gets to the Predator, every time we watch on screen the Predator fucking punch people's heads off. But every time he hits her, she's fine. The little punch blaster thing that he has, we watch him destroy pillars, we watch him destroy rocks, and we watch him destroy people with it. But every time he hits her with it, she's fine. Or she gets knocked out for 5 seconds so that she can slide down the mountain and then catch herself on the shield. When they're underwater, first off, she holds her breath for like 3 minutes on screen when she should be fighting hypothermia. She's able to lift up a fucking anchor that most dudes would probably struggle to lift, wrap it around a Predator's ankle, throw it down there. And then when they're down there fighting, he brings up his punch thing that we watch on screen, him punching through things that are thicker than a person. He puts it up to her face, and just in the nick of time, she pulls up her busted ass shield, and the propulsion from the punch blaster launches her through the water, doesn't break the shield, and manages to shoot her out the same hole that she aimed perfectly to get to safety. Come on, man. Like,
Think about what you're saying.
Take this.
When have
only
you
so
ever in any of
far.
the Predator movies, when have you ever in the Predator movies seen the Predator this super powered where he punches through pillars? Never.
Fine, then make it make sense
That's
with
that's
her.
what I mean. No, but that's
Nothing
what I mean.
happens
That's
to her,
the rules
ever.
that it sets up. No, because that's
That
the
she just
rules
has
that this
plot
movie
armor,
sets.
like that. She's just allowed.
Yeah.
She can't get hurt because she
Yeah,
has
from the
plot armor.
beginning of the
That's
movie.
bad
no,
writing.
From the beginning,
That's shit writing.
No, it's not. It's from the beginning of the movie. It sets that these are the rules we're in. This is it very much reminding me of heavy metal. Like it very much feels inspired by heavy metal. And it's like, this is the universe we're in where things are not grounded. This is a fantasy world. This is a more fantasy.
That's not an argument.
fun
That's not an
version
argument.
of Predator. This
Fine,
is why
if it's
we
a
made
fantasy
it
world and
into
if
an
it's a
animated
fantasy world, if it's animated,
like,
why
you're
didn't
acting
C3PO?
like I'm not part of 95% of people.
Why didn't we just see C3PO
When
walk on screen and start
95% of
talking about?
people think
I don't
something,
care. Not an
there's
argument.
a good chance that
Not an
you,
argument.
not me,
Not an argument.
are missing something.
Make an
I'm saying,
argument. Make an
if
argument.
95%. It's one thing when it's 50% or 60% or 70%, but when
It could be
90
99%,
plus
it could be
percent of
99%.
people,
I don't care.
that means that you might be missing something.
No, I'm not. Make an argument. Yeah, I'm missing why this movie's so good. I'm missing why 99%
Because
of the
it's
population
fantasy,
think this movie's
dude.
good.
You're,
All right,
you're
so
literally,
why-
you got
okay,
a
so
problem
why-
with
so
a
if
fucking
C-3PO
giant alien.
If C3PO
It's a
happened to just
giant
waddle in,
alien.
if C3PO just happened to waddle in on the set of any of these stories, you'd be fine with it because it's animated. Yes or no?
Dude, that's a good example.
no.
'Cause
Yes or
Clone
no?
Wars,
Yes or no?
Clone Wars are way more heightened than the regular Star Wars movies.
If C3PO were to walk
Like,
in
the
in any
rules
of
are
the
not the
stories
same.
of Predator Killer of Killers, would that matter to you because it's animated? Yes or no?
What are you talking about? What is C-3PO? have
Okay,
anything?
your argument so far is that because it's animated, I just have to accept what I see on screen as being logically consistent. That's what you're
Do
saying.
you know what an
So
do you
if
know what an
that's the
artist
case-
is? Do you know what it is to be an artist?
Okay, you're gonna keep.
No,
if
no,
you're
no.
just gonna
What is
keep
an
bringing
artist?
up all of it, doesn't. And an
What does
artist
it mean to be an artist?
What it means to be an artist is to make.
The reason
is to
I like
create
this
art.
movie, the reason I like this movie, and most people do, is because we all quickly recognized that this is the creative license. This artist that created this movie from the very beginning says these are the rules of this movie. This is the rules of this universe.
And then
We're
he
taking-
immediately breaks them.
No, because this feels almost exactly like the Amazing Spider-Man and like the last few animated movies we've had, where it's like the same characters, they have the same powers, the rules are mostly the same, but everything is just heightened. Everything is more super powered, it's more exciting, it's animated. There's creative way, flow, the speed of things, like the look of things. That's why you make it animated, dude. It's like a slightly abstracted version of that universe. Otherwise, why do you make this animated?
You're talking about style. The movie is
That's
stylized.
what I'm Yes,
that's fine,
I'm
but that's
no, no,
not what I'm.
but
I'm not saying it's style.
I know.
Bad.
No, that
I'm
is the
saying
same thing.
I'm saying the writing.
No,
is
that's the
shit.
same thing.
No, it's not.
It's not. Dude, it's not like it changes throughout the movie. The entire movie, all the characters are super powered. You got the one guy
The
who's
second
literally
story's the most
running
grounded
around the airplane.
Yes, and that's almost worse than Ursa. That I was laughing my dick off at the
Yeah.
third story at how fucking stupid it was. It was
It's
so
the-
fucking dumb.
That's
Everything
my
that he was
least
doing.
favorite. That's my least favorite.
The
I agree.
second story
But
is
it
the best out
Still
of
is
them.
the same
because-
rules.
No, okay.
Dude,
You are
ninjas can't
trying
do the stuff
you are
that he
trying
did.
to argue that stylistically, the movie is good. Fine.
The guy's running up the side of a wall, dude. Ninjas can't do that. Like all the stuff that the ninja guy does in the second one, no human ever could do that.
It's more believable that he can run a few steps up a wall than a female.
No, he runs, he's running up all the roofs and fucking jumping. Like, you can't do that. He like is virtually flying when he's on the rooftops. Like, you can't do that stuff. And you could say the same thing with him. He's this little tiny dude, and somehow he's able to fight this giant fucking predator. Because
he
the
no,
biggest
he
of all
doesn't.
of them.
Him and his brother do. The second story is the only one that actually maintains some type of internal logic. The first and third one do not.
But even still, the
and
way
it's
that
hard to
everybody,
watch.
the rules still apply for me, because this is the reason I'm okay with all of it, is because the same thing is always true. No one ever beats a predator by being more badass than it or fighting like mono.
Ursa did.
Nobody. No, she
Ursa
didn't.
did.
She outsmarted it and she got lucky. Hers was of any of them. She got
Okay.
lucky.
Oh, I
Like
guess.
she got big time lucky, dude. There was a lot of things that went her way, and her son
yes,
still got
yes,
fucking
you're
killed.
You're
dude.
right. You're right. It was everything
Like,
that happened for her.
Her
Was very
son is
convenient.
why she lives, because he basically sacrifices himself.
It's well, okay. So I mean, we can get into that, like in the wraparound
But dude,
story about how
also,
how
of
it
any
makes
of
these
the
victories.
characters, but also Ursa of any of those characters would be the most badass in the real world.
Why?
Dude, Vikings were insanely. She would have been
Doesn't matter. She's
berserker
still
Viking. No, she's a berserker Viking. They're
For
thought
what?
of throughout history as one of the most savage, brutal fighting clans and crew of people that have ever lived.
That's
Just believe
fine.
They were on narcotics and shit. Like they're insane if you read about them.
Okay, fine.
So,
put
like,
her up.
I'm
Put
just
her up
saying,
against.
like,
Put her up
but
against
she
a
still
dude your
doesn't beat
size
it.
and she loses.
But she-
It doesn't matter.
no, she wouldn't.
Yes, she would.
She would
You put her
whoop
up against
my
a dude your
ass.
size, she loses. No.
Dude, a trained
No.
fighter,
yeah.
I don't care how big you are. If you're a super well-trained fighter, you can beat people twice, 3 times your size. But on top of that, she doesn't beat the predator. It's
Yes, she
just
does.
like the native girl in Prey. She doesn't beat the predator by being more badass. She beats the predator by outsmarting it. And that's exactly what Ursa does. Like, she
Ursa
outsmarts him in the
fucks
end.
this predator up with her shield and with the anchor and with everything else she has at her disposal. She stabs and punches and kicks.
Have you
and
ever seen a
fucks this
cat?
predator up.
Have you ever seen a cat fight a big ass fucking dog?
No.
They fuck up cat. They just destroy big ass dogs because they fucking claw them. They're fast. They're basically wiry. They're smaller. I know. I fought mixed martial arts, dude. Fighting a littler opponent is not easy. Your size ends up being a disadvantage if someone knows what they're doing. I'm not saying she would be able to beat him one-on-one. She didn't. But I do think that in this heightened world that the entire movie is set in, you know, like the whole anchor thing, she outsmarts it by using the anchor chain and all that. Like she like
That's
uses
not
her brain.
outsmarting
It's
it.
not
That's
her
just
brawn.
that's just swimming around it and wrapping its ankle in a chain. That's all that is.
No, that's
not
after.
outsmarting it.
No, that's after she already got them. Remember, she uses the anchor as a weapon and then hits him and knocks him through the ice in the first place. Everything we see from her, I feel like could happen in desperation, because she's in desperation, flailing. Like, she gets lucky. There's a lot of it with her more than the other two that is luck.
Man,
you know,
I don't want to get into the biology argument. I don't care how trained.
I'm telling you straight up, dude. It's not true. I've fought.
If you are a woman, you are going to lose.
It's not true. There's been a lot of
somebody
super
out
badass
of your weight
women.
class. It doesn't matter.
No, you wouldn't. No, you
Larger
won't.
bone density, bigger lungs, but
Doesn't matter.
larger muscle mass. Like you're
Not if you're not if you were
That's why they
trained. Not if
separate
you
men
were
and
trained.
women's sports. That's why they separate men and women's sports.
Yes,
why
because
they
that's
separate
equal
men and
skill.
women's fighting.
Yes.
Even in UFC fighting, you don't have women fighting men. Every time you
Because
do,
it's an
the man
equal. Okay,
fucking wrecks
stop.
her. Like,
If you
fuck,
have
man,
equal weight trained man versus an equal weight trained woman, yes, the man
woman
will win.
loses.
Yes, that's not what we're talking about here.
Okay, we are not. Okay, so
She has a totally different set of skills than this predator.
Yes, but she's going toe to toe with him. Like watch
I said,
it.
she does get lucky.
Watch
No,
the clips.
no.
She jumps
Remember how
on
much
his
help
back
she
and starts just hammering him with his shield.
Yeah,
cutting
that's
up
when
his
he's
neck,
going after
then
her son.
No, and then he throws her down on the ground, and she gets up
Exactly.
and just starts wailing on him again. She doesn't do
the
anything
predator
else.
fucked her up, dude. She gets hella lucky. But it is in the heightened universe. I'm not arguing that it's not heightened. Like, no one can land like she does and live, but you can say that about the Predator's regular movies. Like, there's a lot of stuff that is not grounded in reality. I mean, it's a superhero type of deal.
I will buy. Here's
Like
the
I
thing.
said, this feels very much like Heavy Metal. Like, remember the super badass warrior chick in Heavy Metal? Like, it reminded me a lot of her.
Sorry, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Here's
It's
the
a
thing.
heightened
I
reality.
will buy. Here's the thing. I will buy that Ursa can do all of this. But when you show me on screen, the thing that I'm like most upset, not upset, but the thing that I think is the most glaring issue is not that Ursa's so overpowered. It's that they show this weapon that the Predator has, and it doesn't follow its own rules with what you see on screen. You see him use this weapon in a way that destroys objects that are thicker, heavier, denser than a person, but then every time it comes in contact with her, it's fine. Even when she's holding up a shield, the shield doesn't
hit
break.
her shield. No, it did.
He
Remember, it exploded her shield.
Do you want me to play the clip? I'll play you the clip.
Yeah, it exploded her first shield. Remember, she's got two shields.
I'm going to play the clip.
It explodes the first one. It never hits her second one.
It does hit her second one in the water. It hits her several times.
Dude,
I will play you the clip. I will play you the clip.
It explodes her shield.
No.
When he first, but dude, there's so many things you're missing.
No,
because like
here we go.
She has like 6 guys that he has to get through before he even gets to her. So like there's a lot that goes on. It's not like it's just her versus him. Whereas it is when you're talking about the other 2 characters in the movie. Like she's got a whole crew of people that are with her that he goes through to get to her. And then her son, who isn't a badass, but he at least like distracts it and saves her ass.
Okay, so here's the punch. Here's the punch thing. Right in her face, getting ready. And she just pulls up her shield. She pulls up her
that's
shield.
when they're underwater, though, right?
So this is the shield that this.
But isn't this when they're underwater?
Is right.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's underwater. It's a huge
energy
blast that we just see.
No, underwater it would not. Yes, but you're underwater now,
bro.
It does destroy. Watch, rewind it. This same weapon explodes her other shield.
So he dies. Still has the shield being launched through the water.
There is at least some version of physics there.
Has not been damaged
because it's underwater. You're not listening to me. Go back and show when it destroys her other shield. It literally explodes her first shield.
So then it should do the same thing.
No, it wouldn't. Not underwater. Have you ever seen what bullets happen? Have you ever seen what happens to bullets underwater?
So it's funny. It's funny.
You know you cannot shoot someone in the underwater.
It's like, funny you should bring this up.
You can literally dive away from bullets underwater.
She has her 2 shields, right? She has her 2 shields. Okay.
Yes.
Both shields. Oh fuck! Hang on. I know I have a clip of this. Both shields. Maybe this is it. Are same damaged because she uses this. She uses the edges here to like cut them up and fuck them up. Okay.
Yeah, but then he explodes one of her shields.
Okay. Fuck. It damages
right
one of
there.
The
it blows up one shield. Like when it hits directly on the one shield, it blows it up.
Okay, so this shield is going to go. This other shield, which is apparently magically stronger than this first shield. Both shields.
The first one. No, because the first one was a direct hit, and it explodes the shield. Look,
she's holding them like this.
Yeah, look what happened. Look what is happening to the shield right now. It's literally blowing up the shield.
Okay. Yes.
Look, it disintegrated it.
You are proving my point.
No, because underwater, it would cause waves, which would push her away. It doesn't have anything to hit on because there's no resistance. When you're on the ground, there would be resistance. You're underwater, the resistance would push her up away, which is what happens. It's the reason if you shoot a bullet into water,
no damage at all would be done.
What are you talking about?
No damage at all would be done to that shield, even if it's underwater. No damage at all.
Not if you're following the rest of the physics of this show. If you're following the universe, the physics that are set in this universe, if it's a reality universe, maybe, I don't know. But like this alien doesn't exist in reality. Those shields don't exist in reality. Ursa's not a real person or a character.
These are not arguments.
You trying to say that these are
not
grounded real physics is insane.
Everything you're saying because these are not arguments. They're terrible.
What happens to a bullet in the water?
It's just a movie, man.
What happens?
Why?
What happens to a bullet?
Walked onto set while this is
you
playing.
Can't even answer the question.
You haven't answered any of the ones that I've asked. What's your question? I'll answer it. I'll do it. What's your question?
I said, what happens to a bullet when you shoot it underwater?
It slows down.
Exactly.
It's still going to do damage.
Into the water? No, not hardly any. A bullet underwater does almost nothing because of the resistance. That's what I'm saying. And the same would happen with that. It does push her a lot. Like, if you notice, she flies the fuck back, but it doesn't destroy the shield the same because
Not
she doesn't
only
have
does it
the resistance. When you're out of water and you're standing like this, your feet are grounded. So the brunt of the force is going to hit that shield. And then when that happens, it explodes the shield. Later on, when they're underwater, the force would shove her back because there's no resistance behind her. There's no gravity. They're underwater. There's less gravity. There's no resistance behind her because there's nothing but water behind her. And it would do roughly what happens there.
That is such a convenient. That is such a convenient excuse.
But that's what happens. It's not a convenient excuse. It's literally what happens.
It is convenient. It is convenient that, I mean, look at this. I'm going to share this again.
Do you know
look at how close. Look at how close
is
how
like a sound
close
wave.
This punch weapon is to the shield. Look at how close. It's right
and it destroys
there.
it.
It doesn't.
No, that's
it
when
doesn't.
they're
Look,
underwater.
the shield is,
it's a sound, dude. It's a sound thing. Like, it isn't a punch like this. That thing's like a sound weapon. It's not a punch, dude.
It is. You know what this weapon is?
No,
you know what this
weapon
is.
It sends off a sound.
Really?
I'm just saying that's what it looks like he's using. It doesn't hit anything.
So it put out sound waves. It put out sound waves strong enough to not explode somebody's ears, and it explodes rocks, pillars, like planks of wood.
Well,
the sound waves are that strong, but
we have the raid. What's it called? The raid. It's like, I forget what it's called, but the Navy uses it, and like it's basically a focal. You could be literally standing next to it and not hear it because it's directing all the sound in a beam, basically. And it looks like that's roughly what this weapon is. But like, there's a lot of weapons in this that are not, and that's one of the things that are amazing about this movie is all the different weapons we get to see, the different creatures, the ships. Like, it's fucking cool to see more of this Predator universe finally. And also see a Predator going up against all these different types of warriors throughout history. It's fun. I'm not saying I didn't have any issues at all with the movie, but there was so much good that it outweighs. What?
It would be fun if it weren't so dumb. Like the second
dude.
story,
You have like you have such a
third.
little bit of creativity in you. I swear to God. Like, everything has to be like all boring and fucking grounded, dude. That's not how artistic license works, man. Like, this is an artist created this universe. It's why it's animated so that he can play in this universe.
You've seen my movie. You've
seen
it. Okay.
But I also know that you don't like I'm not talking about what you create. I'm talking about the way you see the rest of the world.
Okay. But you've seen my movie, so you know that I can put some ridiculous, unrealistic shit together.
Not really.
And what?
Not that much in your movie, dude. It's not that out there.
Okay.
But it's not animated. It's not a high-third universe.
I don't know why. Stop.
It's just like the comic book universes, man.
That. Please stop using the fact that it's animated gives you a pass for writing a bad script. Please stop using that.
It's nothing to do with the script. It's to do with what world you are setting a movie in. Because like the world of Shaun of the Dead, the universe, the laws, the rules, the way that world is set up is not grounded. It's not the same as like Shawshank Redemption. You know, like different universes are designed by different creative, just like your movie. The laws and the rules and all those things that you put in place are different than actually reality.
Yeah, and if you're going to do that,
because this is animated, he went and really did a hyper, like almost video game. Like, this feels very much like a video game. Like, it feels very much like a game. It's got that same sense of physics and world. Like, things are not realistic. They're not as real as they will be. Like, in his upcoming Predator, is going to be much more grounded. Just like Prey was much more grounded. Like, there were some things that are a little hyper real, but not anywhere near the extreme of this. This is the same filmmaker, writer.
your own.
So like if I'm not wrong because
logic.
I literally Dan Trachtenberg made both of Prey and this.
I
And
know.
has been very clear about that. He wanted to make an animated one because he could do things that you could never do in live action. And that's why he made it animated.
Great.
And so like, that's obvious. Like,
so
I don't know why
adhere
you, for
to
some
your
reason, are
own
like one of the only
internal
people
logic.
that don't see that.
Because they show you on screen something that does one thing, and then the next second show you that it does a different thing that doesn't follow.
But it does. It
doesn't.
Like, that is a sound type of weapon. It's what it looks like. Because it's not a punch. It doesn't hit anything. It sends off some type of ray, right? Some type of force, which like a sound force, right? And when it hits things, it explodes them, right? It explodes her first shield. And it's very clear that when it's underwater, it reacts differently. That's not breaking rules. That's when you're underwater and ice, it's going to be different. That's not breaking a rule. That's just it's how that weapon works. It's like going to be diminished in its power because it's underwater.
It's the power is so diminished it launches her through the water and into the air.
It
So
would shove her
high
back
that she goes
because
out of frame. That's how weak. That's how much weaker it is. That not only does it not break her shield,
it's not
but
weaker.
it shoves her
It's not
through.
weaker.
Oh my
It's
God.
not because there's no
Fine,
force
whatever, man.
behind her.
It must be nice. It must be nice to have everything just work out because you say it does. Like that must be nice.
No, it
it
just
sucks
like
for
pretty
me.
clear.
I have to prove and I have to
It
bring
does suck
evidence
for you
and I have to show
because
evidence
for some reason you got
for
this
my arguments.
hateful way
But all you
about
have to
seeing
say
things.
is no, it's animated, and then you win. Like that must be awesome because I don't know how else. I don't know how else to prove.
Because it's like this stuff's so obvious, not just to me.
It's
if
not
I was
obvious.
like on an island,
If it's so
if I was
obvious,
on an island, if I was on an island, it'd be one thing. But when the vast majority of people saw it like
not an
me,
argument.
then I
the
must
vast majority
be
of people thought that the world was flat. The vast majority of people thought the world was flat. Was it?
And
so was it? Is the world
to
flat?
their understanding,
is the world flat because the vast majority of people at the time thought it was flat? No. So the vast majority of the people at the time think
I don't
this is
know,
a
man.
good movie.
Perception is
Still
reality.
doesn't mean it is. Oh fuck!
I mean, they had no way of traveling around the world, so it might as well have been flat.
I love you. I love you.
But I mean, that's the reality here too, right? Like,
okay, well,
perception's reality. You're
move
perceiving it, but what you come up with one that to me is very easy to explain. That it's not changing its rules. It's just literally they're underwater. And I think that's pissing you off because you didn't think about the fact that, yeah, it's underwater. It's going to react different underwater.
Dumb? Am I so fucking dumb that I don't know how things work underwater versus in the air? Like, am I that dumb to you? Is that what it is?
No, that's what I'm saying. Okay. You forgot that the second time was underwater. And you're
look,
still
I want to move on,
this.
okay? I want to move on.
Because you know there's other ones that you can't think of. What are the other times? And like, what are the other problems you have with the movie besides supposedly it breaking its own rules that it's making up in its own universe? Like, that is insane thinking to me. Because it's like, this is fiction, dude. Like, it makes
I don't know how to say it. Do you want me to say this again? Like, do you want me to say this again? If you're gonna have outstanding rules, if you're gonna have fantastical, like The Lord of the Rings is my favorite story. They're my favorite movies. Does that mean I think hobbits fucking exist? No, I understand. I know wizards don't actually perform magic. Okay, I know this, but they haven't. But Tolkien and the movies established the universe that we're in. We see these, and then they follow those rules.
I know, and you're comparing this to the live action versions. It's not the same.
It doesn't fucking matter. Even the Bakshi movies, do this well. Okay, and like
what
you can make argument. Ralph Bakshi, the animated Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, because they all follow the same rules. It's different. This is
fine.
A case where they're making an animated. That's why I said Chronicles of Riddick.
Going to present something to me. If you're going to present something to me, like what you're presenting in Killer of Killers, this weapon, whatever it is, You need to show me what it can do and then have it do that consistently. They do not
I
do
think it
that.
does.
in this
It just
first story.
reacts different because it's underwater.
Okay.
Like, to me, it does, because you see the weapon over and over and over, and it does do the same thing but it's like any other weapon, right? If it's aimed directly at something, it's going to do one thing. If it just slightly hits something, it's going to do that thing. When it's close up to just the guy's head, it explodes his head. You know what I mean? Like that, of course, versus a shield. Like, the reason she doesn't get exploded by it is because she does have the shield in front of her, which is going to displace the sound, and it's going to go around it. It did still destroy the shield, though.
So we've established that it is a sound weapon. You know for a fact it's a sound weapon.
It's
not
some
it's not
form
an
of ray.
It's not an energy blast.
No, it doesn't at all look like an energy blast.
No energy. No energy is required to explode rocks.
Well, I mean, a sound is that. A sound weapon is that. I mean, that is an energy weapon.
I want to get to the wraparound.
They're the same thing. What energy are you talking about? Like, an energy weapon is either going to be electricity, or it's going to send air, or it's going to send sound.
It'll be a plasma pulse. I don't give a shit. It's just something.
But it's not. You can see it's not a plasma blaster, dude. It's either sound or it's air.
It's
obvious. See the ripple, but you see it rippling through the air. There's no color to it. It's not.
It's
like
blue.
Laser.
The
it's not like laser. Yeah, but that's just showing it through the air. I don't think it's a laser.
No, I can't fucking do this. All right.
But either way, it doesn't matter what it is. That's beside the point. I'm just saying, we do see it reacting the same to everything that it hits. But it's going to be slightly depending on what it is. So, like, when it's against metal, it's going to react different than when it's against someone's just bare skull. You know, like the one guy's helmet doesn't explode his head because he's got his helmet, but it still fucks him up. Just like her, it doesn't kill her because she's got these two shields, but it does disintegrate one of the shields.
Can we get to the wraparound story? We're not going to come to a conclusion. Okay. So can we just move on?
Besides that, it breaks its own rules. Like, because the thing is, I think you went into it thinking it needed to abide by the same everything as the other Predator movies. And I think just like the Predator movies have all been different. Like, some of them are much more grounded than others. Other ones are more alien-like.
I want you to show me something and then just remain consistent and give me characters that I can root for, that I care about. The only character that I really cared about in this story was the ninja, was the samurai guy.
He's the one that had more because Ursa, you don't like her. Like, you're not supposed to like her because she's, you know what I mean? She was so damaged. You feel bad for her, but she was so damaged when she's young. I don't think and her story arc redeeming moment is what happens in the end, which I won't say because I'm not going to do too bad spoilers, but you know what I mean? Like, she's not a likable person. Like, and she even says that, like, because of what happened to her when she was a kid or whatever, you know, she's basically a killing machine. She's wanted nothing but revenge, period. It's like eating her soul. And so that's why at the end, that's kind of like her story arc moment of being able to be good finally, you know, and do something for good. But like, each one of them are different.
She does something. They're all
I think
superheroes.
you're supposed to feel more for the Latino guy. I just didn't like him. I don't know what it was about him. Yeah, he just kind of,
because he was good at everything and was super smart, and like,
but he was also
because the movie told us that, not because he did anything.
When he kind of like made jokes and quips about everything, it felt like he didn't really, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't take the situations as serious.
The fact his family can use the Force to just make machines work. Like, it's lazy. You can, if you want to have this badass this badass Viking, this woman Viking, whatever. If you want to do that, fine, do it. It's just lazy.
Okay, I will agree with him. There are a lot of conveniences that they do to
use a walking convenience.
Yeah.
He uses the Force to figure out whatever he needs to.
He's running around the airplane like there's nobody piloting it. This is not a plane that has, it's old. It's not like it has autopilot. And yet somehow he's able to run around on the wing and all that shit. So, like, I'm with you on him. I didn't say that the script and everything was perfect. I said it's a badass movie. It's like my
Far
second
from-
favorite Predator because to me, I don't watch a Predator for the stories because they've never. I mean, even think about the first one. There's not a ton of story to it. It's just
not
badass. It's like a badass guy versus
it's
a badass
It's
alien
it's
and
con-
action
but
and
it's
gore.
and it's consistent and it follows its own rules and its own internal logic. This movie doesn't do that. It's not hard. If you're going to set up a ridiculous rule,
I said, what did I say? I
fine.
said, this is my favorite since the first.
Okay, I know, but I'm going to say this again.
The first is a
If you're
better
gonna
movie. It's a
set
more
up-
well-rounded movie. They have still
If you
never
want-
made a Predator to me that is as good as that first Predator. So I'm not, like I said, I didn't think that this is like a 10. I'm not saying it's a 10. I would say like an 8. Like I think it was a blast. It's like, especially for a going straight to streaming fucking I'm not an animated guy. And so for me to have fun and enjoy an animated movie says a lot.
Okay, fine. But again, and I want to clarify
my
'cause I know
grief
I'm gonna
with
get-
you
hang
is
on, hang
this.
on,
I feel like
wait. I need to say this. I need to clarify this because I know I'm going to get lit up
Go
in the
ahead.
chat for this. But I want to be clear. I will accept outrageous circumstances, whether it's in an animated movie or a live action, it doesn't matter. I will accept them if you remain consistent throughout the film. That I will accept it. Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite horror franchise, and those movies are fucked, most of them. But one thing that my favorite ones do out of all of them is they are consistent with their internal logic. The ones that are my least favorite are the ones that don't do that.
I feel like every single one is different. Like every single Nightmare on Elm Street has a little bit of different rules, and they break their own rules and they retcon shit. Like every single one of them.
That's right. That's why I said that's why I said the franchise. That's why I said the franchise is fucked. But my favorite movies.
Yeah, but I can still watch
franchise-
them individually and enjoy them for what they are. And that's what I'm saying about this. Like if you compare it to the original, like any of them, like I said, because it's animated and it's very clear the way it sets things up is that this is going to be a hyper real version of the Predator universe. And it's so that we can play in this sandbox so we can see what would happen with all these crazy things going on. And like, you know what I mean? It's a hyper, like I said, it reminded me of Heavy Metal. It's got that
But
hyper
wouldn't it be
real
better-
reality.
But wouldn't it be better and wouldn't it be more satisfying if these characters just weren't super powered? Like if they had to fight, like these are humans that these predators keep going after. Wouldn't it be more fun and more enjoyable to see them at their actual disadvantages, that they're not these like superheroes of people? Wouldn't that be better? Would that be more or less fun than seeing the Latin kid, I think his name is Lewis, just be able to pilot things because he can use the force, and Ursa being able to fight something because she's a fucking Wonder Woman style Amazonian? Is it
To
more
some
fun
extent,
to see that?
yes.
Or is it?
To some extent, yes. But I also
I don't
push
know.
back somewhat by being like, it was fun to play in this world too. And that if this was a live action, I would have had a lot of problems with it, right? But because it's animated, I had fun with it because I'm like, it reminded me of these last Spider-Man animated movies. It's like they're still the same characters. It's still the same Spider-Man, and at one point they're gonna intersect with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, right? But because they're animated and it's like a hyper universe, and it's
You're
fun.
talking about the Miles Morales movies.
Yeah, it's fun
Yeah,
to live
those-
in that world,
Yeah.
and that's what this felt like.
But
where
that's a
it's like
great.
everything is kind of, we know,
But Into
everything
the
is
Spider-Verse,
hyper. That's why we're doing animated.
but Into the Spider-Verse is an excellent story, and Miles Morales is a great character. And
Well, yeah,
they set up your expectations.
I am
and
not
then they-
putting
and then
this.
they
I
keep
am
them.
not putting this on the level with those. Those are like
Look at my fucking cat.
legitimately really,
with
really
the
good
green
movies.
screen. That's my cat, and he's fucking with the green
Yeah,
screen.
that's it.
Punk.
I don't like doing that. I don't like comparing things to different things as far
All
as
right,
like
look.
quality. I'm not saying that this movie is on the level with those. Those are like masterpiece, in my opinion. They're the best.
I don't know if they're masterpieces, but they're solid movies.
They're the
solid,
best.
good movies.
they're the best superhero movies we have got in like the last 5 years.
I mean, okay, fine. That's a low bar though.
No, we've had some good ones. I mean, yeah, we've had a lot of shit.
I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna get into that.
I'm just
All right,
saying,
look,
dude, they're actually really good movies. So
look, if
I'm not, if I had to compare them to like that as far as quality, yes, I agree. These characters could have been written better.
Thank
like,
you.
I
finally get a concession. Oh my God.
There's so much good. That's my problem I have with you is not that
the fight scenes are fine. Like the action is fine.
Is that you only focus on these things and that
yes, it pulls me out.
Unless those things are perfect, you're like,
no, they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect.
Well, they have to be at least to a certain bar, whatever that bar is. They has to be there, or the movie is shit. And it's like
just make it make sense
about the animation style. It's about the action. It's about the sci-fi, all the different imaginative. Like you could see that he was much more time and energy and all that was put into creating these different creatures, building out this world, making these different ships, these different technologies. Like every Predator in this used different weaponry than we had ever seen before. Like that's where so much of the effort was put in. Whereas Prey didn't have all that. What made Prey a good movie to me was the characters, especially her brother. Very interesting. And like a lot of the things, but it was story writing elements and things like that are what made Prey stand out. Like to me, it's just because I go into a movie wanting to appreciate a movie, to like a movie, to try to see what the artist is trying to do in that movie and what was their focus. What are they trying to accomplish here? This was not a movie that's made about these characters. That's not the point here. These are not characters like we might get to see them more down the road, but that's not really the focus here. If anything, like I agree with you, the best written character was the ninja guy, but even he had a very small, it's an anthology really. And anytime you have an anthology, it's hard to really get a lot of story on people and get a lot of developing of these characters. It's like, to me, it was just about facilitating something to show us the technology, the expansion of going to another planet. Because I think there's a lot here that's trying to set up this next movie that we're getting in November, which does look like its focus is a lot more on characters.
I mean, I guess we'll see. Look,
from what he said and from the trailer,
the positives that I give this movie are I enjoyed the fight scenes. I enjoyed how each Predator is what am I trying to say? I enjoyed that each Predator is like uniquely specific to that time and style. So like, you have like this big Grendel type character, right? For the first Predator in a Viking setting. Like I thought that was interesting. And then you have a shadow melding, thinner, more agile ninja type Predator for the second one. And then, you have the aerial pilot with the, technology and all that for the third one. Like I enjoyed that. Like I enjoyed that.
That was something that really stood out to me because we have never seen a Predator flying some kind of craft or using a craft as like a weapon. And just in general, that Predator looked like a very different. And what we've seen from the trailer, this upcoming one is going to be even more of that. Like the big grief everybody has is what the main Predator looks like. But you could tell Dan Trachtenberg is trying to show us that it's this expansive universe. And just like humans, they come in all shapes and sizes. And so like the Predator that we're following in Badlands is a young Predator and a black sheep. He's like small, scrawny, and he's trying to get the respect.
We know
all
what that is.
Yeah. And so
like that movie's coming out.
I think that's something I really like, is that we're going to see more of that to come. And I like that we saw a lot of that in this. Well, we know that for sure. In that trailer, you see like 3 or 4 different looking styles of Predators, because there's that big red big red looking fucking motherfucker. Remember?
Yeah.
Towards the end of the trailer.
Yeah,
So like, I mean,
yes,
there's a couple.
we all,
you know.
we saw it. Okay, so I also, you mentioned the
Oh!
animation.
You know what trailer we didn't watch?
What?
I don't know if you've seen it yet, but we didn't watch the Alien series.
Oh,
Alien
that
Earth.
did come out.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Did you see that yet?
we might. Yeah, we might. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Dude.
I guess we have time. We can get to it.
Holy
But-
shit, that
but-
looks good.
I do want to talk about the animation style. You liked it, right?
Yeah, because I liked it a lot because it reminded me of growing up. Like it felt like it was going back instead of like we've seen a lot of this like animation that's either all 3D looking or I don't know. There's just a lot of this CG looking type of animation or all these different styles that people are using now. But like I liked that it was more of that 2D style and it felt closer to like the stuff. And that's why once again it reminded me of heavy metal. So like it reminded me of like a blend of the stuff we had, you know, back in the 80s and 90s with some more modern 3D-ish type of elements. So it was cool to have this kind of hybrid-ish style. So I like that because it was different. I'm not saying it was perfect, but I liked it. But
So
I don't know, man. I struggle to I will always struggle to criticize art because it's so much about the artist like vision, like what they're trying to do. And it's like it doesn't make it bad, or it's just like that's the style that they
fine,
wanted
but you
to
can
go
see the
with,
intention of an artist, and then just like, did they succeed or not succeed? Like that's you should be fine with that, and artists should accept criticism to get better. So like it's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't.
And
I don't.
to me, this movie achieves almost everything that I think it was trying to do.
I guess. So I wasn't a fan of the animation. I'm not, and I haven't been a fan of this like cell shaded type animation. It's a completely personal preference.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, hang on. Sorry, I had a sneeze just come out of nowhere. When you're talking about like animation styles and stuff like that, like I am very much a fan of more stylized animation, but for whatever reason, this was just, it didn't cross that line for me to be like super stylized. It felt like a lot of what I saw in the second and third season of Love, Death and Robots, where it's like either go full CG or go full 2D. You know what I mean? Like go full Unreal or go.
I see your point. I like that it was like a hybrid though, because
I just didn't.
We do see a lot of, like I was saying, we do see a lot of artists doing one or the other. We don't see a lot. And like, I like that we're starting to see, cause like, stuff like Ninja Turtles and like the Into the Spider-Verse and like, you know, a lot of this new animated movies, I'm digging that we're seeing experimentation and, you know, it's not all like as like, I like some of it more than others, of course. And I'm not saying this is my favorite style of animation, but I liked it. I did enjoy it for, you know, it did have a different enough feel to me that it didn't just feel like it was ripping off something else or whatever, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. And I'm sure there's people out there and that like it. And I'm sure it's fine for what it is. It's just personally, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't critique it based on that. I just didn't like it.
See,
it's just not.
And that attitude, I am fine. Like, it's only when you're like, act like a movie is a pile of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I get
what it is. This movie's bad.
The movie not working for you, but it's not bad.
It is bad.
Unequivocally
it's a bad movie.
Not bad. There are elements of it that you can argue could be bad, but you cannot say this movie is bad.
Yes, I can. And I did.
No, you already named off a number of things that you thought were good about it, that you did like. So how could a movie be bad when there's
it's still a bad movie
about it?
You can dude, a bad movie doesn't mean everything about it is bad.
Saying something is bad is definitive. Where do you go beyond bad?
You can have positives in a bad movie. You can have something that works in a bad movie.
How is it bad? Just
It's bad
there's
because
things about
okay,
the story
it's
structure
bad.
or the characters
I'm
that
going to tell
don't
you,
like.
it's bad because the characters are stupid. It doesn't follow its own internal logic. It really cucks the predators, especially with that last scene. Like that last scene in the movie, which like I'm going to try not to spoil it, but it makes predators seem like they're not as dangerous as we're led to believe. That last scene in the wraparound when they're
I feel like
what I'm talking about.
shows
You have these catacombs
predators,
of things.
Yeah, I feel like it shows predators always the same, is that their one weakness is their hubris. Because they always think that because they're like, big with these weapons that they
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. That's all they need.
And there's three of them.
No, there's more than that. They have an entire refrigerator, like an entire like warehouse full of these things that are a spoiler, so I can't talk about them. But like it seems like it really defangs predators. That's all. So I don't know. Do you want to get to the chat? Do you want?
Yeah.
Just so that we can start. So we can start
don't,
all over again.
I like to be entertained, man. I do not like to be so cynical that I can't be entertained.
But I'm not so cynical that I can't be.
I'm not saying that I think you should be like, it's a great movie. I loved it. I'm going to
love the shit out of Jimmy
when
and
you say it's bad, everybody tunes out anything else you say after that. Bad is definitive.
Okay, if you want to be so weak mentally,
it's not worth seeing. If you say a movie's bad, it's not worth seeing.
Okay, fine. But if you're gonna just turn off everything I have to say because I say a movie's bad, then
I'm saying anybody. You're not just talking to me.
I know I'm not. I know.
Like there is an audience out there, and if you say something is bad, anybody that thinks your opinion is worth a damn or whatever is going to be like, I guess it's not worth my time then. And I think most people may not even love this, but would be entertained enough by it that it's still worth seeing. So even if I have problems with it or whatever, I would still always think that a very fair and balanced way of being is being like, I have problems with it. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. I think it could have done this better, whatever. But I still think it's worth your time. Saying it's bad means that it's, dude, like bad to me is like,
wait, I'm going to love Jimmy and Stiggs. It's probably not a good movie.
Yeah, but that's different.
What?
Because you'll preface it. You'll preface it by saying, I know it's not a good movie, but I like it because of blah, blah, blah. You go and you're like, it's a bad movie, period. That's what you just did with Predator.
Right, because that's what I think of Predator. But
so you don't think your recommendation is that it's not worth people's time.
Right. Yeah, that's my recommendation. You're allowed to disagree with me.
I know, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't say that. I'm saying that that's just not a fair and balanced way. If you have positive,
the most fair and balanced. I am probably the most fair and balanced. Yes, I am.
You're not, because I asked the chat then. They will always say that I'm
trying to get
you're a hater. Everybody always says you're a hater. Why do you think they always say that? It's because this is what I'm talking about.
I would just say
it's not that you shouldn't have an opinion. It's just if you
and go to somebody who just loves everything and comment on their shit. Oh, you're just a lover. You're just a fanboy. Like, just you have to reverse that.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
If that sounds stupid,
I get that all the time. The thing is,
that sounds stupid, then so does the adverse, where you're just a hater. It's like it's water off a duck's back. I don't care.
Please don't bring up any political figures, good or bad, in the chat. Clever.
If you can, if you can try, Okay, all right. Let me. All right.
I mean, I know it's just a joke, but
let me try to get through these without bringing up the fight again. Okay, let me just try to get through these. Okay, I got to scroll up just a little bit. Okay.
I just think it's a very cynical way. I just think it's a very cynical way of looking at it.
Wait, that's not the first one I want to bring up. Citizen Sleeve is okay. All right. John Connor, Predator versus Ninja, great story sequence. Prop Dude says, I know how to change spark plugs on my car. These Yautyas better watch out. Samurai segment was dope, though. Vorpalbite says, I don't know.
What is...
I'm just reading through these. Vorpalbite says, ew, breaks its own rules. How rebellious. Seiya has popcorn buckets. John Connor Urso is a Berserker Viking. Yeah, Citizen Sleeve says, what in the what now? Killer of Killers is piss. Honestly, DJ, come on. Yeah, well, it is. Prop Dude, no, because the spoiler, they are for sure tying it into the live action ones. Okay,
yeah.
Mr. Wonderful, I agree with DJ. Chris, I'm with DJ this time. It was a bad movie. Jordan, I don't like when our dads fight.
I know, but I have one. There's one person that is allowed to call me a dad. I take no responsibility for any other humans.
Yeah. DJ, would you agree that the Predator's new weapons were amazing? Yes, I thought they were cool. I just wish that they were consistent with what we saw. That's all. All right, let me see here. And is an annoying teen pursued by the weakest I don't sorry.
No.
I think that was from something else. No, I think that was from sounds like
I think they're asking a question. Are they like, is there an annoying teen chased by a predator?
Oh, well, no.
It was sort of. They're asking like a question.
Yeah, no. I think the third story, he's the youngest one.
Yeah,
but,
closest. Which is part, I think, why I didn't really like him. Is because he was just like, he just kind of had that annoying teenager.
It was egregious. Like it was obnoxious.
He had that annoying teenager feel that is written by someone who is not a teenager at all anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? That type of writing style where it's like, that's not how young people actually are. It's how an older person sees a younger person.
Yeah. The eighth and final rule, this is your first time at Fight Club, you have to fight. Okay, that might be commentary on us. Iron Seraphim says
they're saying that this is Fight Club.
Animated versions tend to be more exaggerated. Is that the word I'm looking for? That being said, I'd give it a couple hours of my time. Jamal says, well, the physics of anime and real life is different. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
And you should know this. You're more into anime than me.
Rules. And the anime that I watch establish their extra rules and then abide by them. I've been saying
I felt like this did in the very beginning.
It's not that Superman exists. It's that every time we see Superman, and I'm using Superman as a term for exaggerated things, every time we see him, he's the same. And when he's not,
the only one you brought up was the whatever the hell the weapon is. That's the only one you brought up.
That's
where else is it breaking its rules?
Every segment in the third story, the second one was fine. Like I think it established the second. I like the second one was good.
I just felt like everybody was like, you even stated in the very beginning. Your point was that everybody was like amped up. Everybody felt like superhero level, and I'm like, yeah, that's because it's animated. Everything's going to be hyper real. It's going to be like heightened.
Not all the time.
There's lots of physics and stuff.
Yeah, but there's plenty of animated
but I'm saying like, I know, I'm not saying it has to do that, but I'm saying like the first scene in this makes it very clear this is not going to be like human beings do not explode like bags of blood. Like no matter how hard you hit a human, they don't explode like a bag of blood. So like the laws of physics are not applying here. Like that's what I mean by it sets its rules early on. Is like this is the world where it's hyper gory. Like this is not what really goes down, but this is a fun universe that
just takes okay. And I would say that that's bad writing because it takes away any stakes.
It's just simply
everybody can just do anything. So whatever. I guess I'm just watching this, and whatever happens because it can. Like that's
not bad writing. That's just a choice.
It's boring.
I'm not arguing with that, but it's not lazy. It's just a choice.
It is lazy. I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to get out of this.
But it's the reason he did an animated one in the first place.
It's not lazy writing. It's very creative and actively engaging because all I have to do is just think of anything, and now my characters are out of trouble. That's not lazy.
That's like saying Tom and Jerry is bad writing.
What?
Because like Tom and Jerry, no one's ever going to actually die. Like it's like part of the fun of it. it's like Mickey Mouse
Tom
or
and
any other
Jerry. That's
animation.
where we're at.
Animation, ever since its very beginning, has always been hyper real, and the stakes aren't quite the same. That's part of why you do it. That's part of why you make it animated.
Oh
I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm saying it's a choice. It's a choice, and the only reason that they made this animated versus live action, and why they're doing Predators Badlands live action.
All right. I'm not going to get back into it. I'm just going to read
he basically wanted to make a movie. He literally did the same thing that they did with Chronicles of the Riddick series, right? They made an in-between movie to help build out the world, set out some ground rules, do some things that are cheaper and easier to do in an animated version. And you can be a little more wild and imaginative and all that in an animated version. But it's the idea is to take and attach this one and to Badlands. And so you make this in-between like bridge to get from one movie to the next. That's the idea here. It's why they're both coming out the same year.
Okay.
David says, he could have two different teams. He could have his live action team and his animated team.
David says, I passed on it, but I think I'll watch it tonight. Well, I hope you enjoy it.
He will. There's 95% chance you're gonna like it.
Saya has her dick out in between the.
I just think that's so funny because like a lot of times we'll disagree on a movie where it's like 60-40. You know what I mean? Like this is like 95% to 5.
Clever.
I just think that's funny. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you or whatever. I just think that's funny.
Yeah, no, fine. If I say a movie's bad and that makes somebody want to go watch it, then God bless. Like God, go.
Dude, the truth is, I don't ever want to be right. I just, this is my opinion. You know what I mean? And like, I know you're the same way when it comes to that too. It's not about right or wrong. It's about, this is just how I feel about this movie. And if people go and watch it, and it's something that gets hard sometimes, is like, I get people like someone told me today, they went and bought sight unseen, went and bought the Empty Man, like spent like $30 or whatever to get a Blu-ray.
It's a good movie
of the Empty Man. It is, but it makes me feel like a lot of pressure because I'm like, he did it just because of my recommendation, and it's like he might end up hating it, and he just spent like $30. I know.
Clever Cleaver
I'm just saying, like, it's not. It's never that we are trying to tell people what they should or shouldn't do. This is just simply our opinions.
Right. Yeah. Clever Cleaver says, so it projects some weird, woke, unrealistic girl boss cinema trash water shit, seemingly just making the animation to subliminally interject the feminist ideology into cultural existence. The argument could be made, no. Clever Cleaver.
In that one part, but it's also like, there's a billion other badass fucking guys too. It's like, and the way she survives is not by being more badass than the Predator. Like, she survives literally because her son sacrifices himself.
I love how Saya uses my full name in all of her comments. I cracks me up. She says, "Can you imagine?"
And she misspelled the fuck out of my name. Thank you, Saya.
She says, "Can you imagine 8-year-old?" Can you imagine 8-year-old DJ and Kanan doing this podcast? It would be the same thing, but that's why I love it. Probably.
No, I was really quiet. Like, I was pretty shy when I was a kid. I was a listener. I still am, which might seem crazy to a lot of people to hear, but I am someone that always would rather listen in the background to conversations. You know what I mean? And people that know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's why I'm such a podcaster. I love listening to podcasts.
Prop Dude says, DJ's point is the skill gap with the other soldiers is just absurd. Anime exaggerations aside. Mervin Richardson is a new member to the...
I think the story is the same for each one of them because someone sacrifices themselves for them in each one.
That's so like, it's never that they're
like the never that they're the badass. But the second one too, his brother,
No, I know, but the third one, it just makes the least amount of sense. The sacrifice.
I know.
He literally just goes.
Like the old guy.
He literally
like,
just, like, the plan is working. The plan is working.
Yeah.
And he literally just goes, you know what? Fuck it.
Yep.
Just fucking dies. And you're like,
I
why?
agree. I agree.
Proud
See,
dude says,
that's the
throw
thing,
Alita-
dude. I totally can agree with you on a lot of these different things. It's just as a whole, I
you
just
liked
think
it.
you put
That's fine.
so much weight. No, I just think you put so much weight on these little
on storytelling. I know, it
things,
sucks.
like
I
something
shouldn't
that
do
is irritating. Like, but you put so little because it's this. It's not that I think there's anything wrong with putting a lot of weight on the storytelling. Like that's super important, right? But I think you should also put a lot of weight on the look, on the creativity, on the like tech and all these other things that are what make a movie. Like a movie isn't a book. Like I argue with this ever since we first started talking is that, it's at the most, it's a 50-50 split. You know what I mean? Like, because a movie is a visual.
Well, it's not a 50-50 split. It's not a 50-50 split. Right? Especially if you're talking about artistic integrity, because it's not a 50-50. It wouldn't be 50-50 in anything.
Well, it depends on what, because you'll have some movies where it's 70-30. 70% is about the visuals. Some movies even more than that. Like you have a movie like what's that movie? Black
Phone.
No, it's that really underground movie. Beyond the Black Rainbow. Have you ever seen that?
Oh my God, no.
It's like a 90-10. It's like all visuals. There's so little storytelling. You know, there's almost no dialogue in it. It's just all about mood and music and atmosphere, and like it's telling a story, but it's not like a complex, there. So what I'm saying is,
you know what? Actually, I'm not going to bring it up. Sorry. Finish. I don't want to bring this up.
I'm just saying, like a story, it just depends on the project. And so like a movie like this, I would never go into this thinking that the story is first. It's like, no, this is a 70-30 at most. Like the story at most is like 30% of what the point
the
of this
Animatrix is the same thing as Predator Killer.
Animatrix sucks. You
right,
cannot
never mind.
compare those.
Okay.
Everybody thinks those suck, man.
Prop Dude says throw Alita Battle Angel in there and I'll buy it.
Ooh, I loved Alita Battle Angel.
I
still feel like that did not get nearly the respect or love that it deserves.
I gotta watch it. John says in the first two Predators, both Dutch and Harrington end up outsmarting the Predator. And yes, and I think they very clearly do. Matriarch says,
well, and that's the point. That's what they're trying to do again here. Like every one of them, none of them out bronze. They all outsmart it,
except for Ursa.
It is more. No, she does too. Well, she survives by outsmarting it. Ultimately, she doesn't.
I guess.
Like I don't think Ursa is almost responsible at like the other two. To me, they're cunning and this and that is why they won. I don't feel like Ursa won at all. I don't even think she felt like she won. Because like literally her son sacrifices himself for her survival.
Right. Matriarch says, LMAO, last week I came in here after work. They were fussing at each other. Here they are again. Yeah, well, that's what we do. It's like
just
literally
every week.
This is why people watch.
Panos Cosmatos. Panos Cosmatos did maybe my favorite segment of Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix. Like his section is fucking phenomenal. Like he's the guy that did Mandy. His first movie was Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Oh,
you've seen Mandy, right?
I've seen Mandy. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So Beyond the Black Rainbow is like similar, but it's even less dialogue and story and even more like trippy music and visuals and shit.
Mr. Wonderful says, I can see DJ and Kanan in a movie theater watching this movie and DJ walking out for how absurd it is while Kanan's like, where are you going? I would not have walked out of this. If I saw this in the theater, I would not have walked out.
I wouldn't have asked him why he was leaving either.
I didn't even walk out of the Monkey, and I wanted to walk out 3 times, and I still stayed. I would not have walked out of this.
I still think that might be your worst take. It's the Monkey, because the Monkey's so much fun. At least the monkey, I do get it though. Oh no. I think he froze. Oh, looks like we lost DJ. Pour a little beer out for our lost soldier. All right, let's see if I can figure out where we were at. Hobbits do exist. Kim Kardashian is walking around somewhere. Oh, don't even try, Clever Cleaver. You would fucking get with her in a second. And I'm not a fan of the Kardashians, but you can't deny that they still are somewhat attractive. The new great debaters. Mithril works different underwater. Yeah, I mean every force works different underwater. So like that was my argument, because like it literally, even a bullet works different underwater, and this is some form of energy blast, be it air, sound, like it's some force of an energy blast. Like to me it looked like it was a sound blast, but either way it's an energy blast, and underwater it's going to react completely different. Especially when she's here, there's no force behind her. She's just got water behind her. So she is going to go back with a lot less resistance. I love it. Just when you think it's winding down. It's definitely going from potential to kinetic energy when the weapon fires. Exactly. Hey, you're back.
The communists are trying to take over my internet.
Communists.
It's the communist. All right. Where are you?
The one that's on the screen.
No shit.
I don't know how to tell you. I didn't go to the right spot, I don't think. I just simply went back a little ways and was like, all right, I guess I'll start here. So this one where John.
No, there's so much good stuff. Chris. There's so much.
Go back before that.
I am.
Yeah, go back before.
Okay.
So, like I said, I didn't know where to start.
Jordan, the Wicked Witch of the East, bro. I'm sure that's what a lot of these sound like. It's just two dorks fighting over movies. Like that's all this is.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you too. I'm like, dude, you're trying to put real world logic on a fantasy story.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to put its own logic on itself. I've said that 10 fucking times.
I know you have, but I still don't really see how. I don't see what you're seeing.
Well, I guess
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I don't see what you're seeing, because I don't think that it was breaking its rules. I think that like even with the weapon, it's going to react different, in every different situation. Because like it's some form of energy blast. It's going to react different no matter like certain things are going to react different to it.
If you want to know how I watch film and why I put so much emphasis on story and plot and character, I would say the first thing you should read is On Writing by Stephen King. Read that first, and then I'll have more.
Like I said before when we were talking about
or listen to it. I
don't put a ton of value on things. Stephen King writes good because he has cool imaginative ideas.
I love how Mr. Wonderful, so long, I know he's not watching anymore, but I love how he literally gives us an hour and is like, I'm out of here, deuces.
Yep.
He's like, so it's already been an hour, show is interesting, peace.
Yep. Well, he might be at work, like I don't know, who knows.
No, I know.
But I also think that it is possible that, I don't know if I'd be able to listen to us argue for more than an hour either. So
I don't know. I could. I also watched like stuff like this.
Man, I'm like trying to finance this car, and this motherfucker has still not gotten back to me.
Stephanie says good stuff. I wonder if she's high. Sorry, I don't mean to call you out. Let me see here. K Depperment says I got here late for the Flame War. Jennifer or Jennifer, sorry, gives us a surprised face. Welcome to the. I don't think I've seen you chat, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
See, this is
David,
the car I'm trying
you're
to buy.
getting a new car.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is that?
It's a little tiny Mitsubishi,
Oh,
but it gets 45 miles to a gallon.
Hey,
Yeah,
David
and
says
it'll only be like $400 a month.
nice. David says the new great debaters. Prop dude says Mithril works different underwater, bro. Yeah. Jennifer, are you girls done yet? No.
But it does. Any form of energy weapon is going to react different underwater. And it will also react different in cold air versus warm air.
Vorpal says cosmic energy can be blue. I guess. Oddender says I love it. Just when you think it's winding down.
Well, I was just simply saying I thought it was a sound weapon. Either way, it's an energy weapon of some kind. It's an energy blast of some kind. Like whatever it's blasting, it's some form of energy.
Every time we call Ursa a Viking, he just says Shield Maiden. That's the third time. Maiden. Whatever, dude. This movie doesn't care.
Well, no, she does call herself a Shield Maiden, which is also a fucking Viking. And more specifically, she's supposed to be No, Shield Maiden is just simply a woman Viking. That's the Shield Maiden is what they called the women, like the women warriors were Shield Maidens. Which is also why I feel like this is even less feminist than any, because of any of the famous people throughout time, women warrior, like there really were women warrior Vikings. It's the same as like if you were to go to Africa and have like an African warrior be a woman, because in certain tribes and different times they existed. So it's different. Like the Native American, like Prey, I understood a lot of people pushing back on Prey. I get it, because yeah, dude, there would not have been a female like that. Is a lot harder for me to believe. But a Shield Maiden is a real thing. Like there really were women. There's tons and tons of Viking burial grounds that have been dug up where they find women warriors that were the Shield Maidens. Like it was a fairly common thing. You know, like there isn't a bunch of female native warriors. Like that just wasn't a thing as much. I'm not saying there wasn't any, but more of the female Native Americans or Native people would have been more like a Pocahontas type, where, you know, they were a scout or they helped with this, that, and the other. They were, you know, but they weren't a warrior.
Oddender says, yeah, Kanan, your diplomacy with movies can be slightly irritating at times, but I respect and try to consider your perspective.
Think about what you just said. My diplomacy. I'm being diplomatic, which is the way you should be when you're talking about anything. When you debate things, you're supposed to be diplomatic.
Jamal says, from my point of understanding, what DJ's saying is that it can be a bit, oh my God, sorry. It can be a bit of more flair, but still within certain exaggerated parameters for an anime.
What
so far
DJ's saying, I get. Because his biggest issue is not so much that that it wasn't grounded, was that if you're going to be to this level, stay at that level throughout the entire movie. Don't just have, when it's convenient, all of a sudden now you seem to be extra powerful. And then, you know, and I get that. Like the one that bugged me in that regard is the third one, because I felt like he's supposed to be this fucking mechanic pilot guy, right? Now all of a sudden he's flying a jet like a fucking, like one of the greatest pilots of all time. Then a plane that doesn't even have autopilot, he somehow is able to let go of the controls and climbing around on the wings and doing all this aero, like, yeah, like it's, I agree. I get all that, but I still feel like I'm more forgiving of that, because I'm like, the movie in general is supposed to just have this fantasy fun feel and not feel like you're supposed to be thinking too much about would that apply. But I'm not gonna lie, there was plenty of times in the movie that I'm like, okay, come on guys, like reel it in a little. That's a little convenient. Like, you know, I agree, but I have a problem when you say a movie like like I said earlier, just bad is so definitive. But whatever.
Slack Wolf says you guys are such characters. Al Triano says hit that like or take a hike. Yes, please like the video.
I'm not a character. I'm a Muppet.
Let me see here. Oh, Saya. Sorry, Saya. She says, are we seeing the Hellgate trailer tonight or is that a different time? Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, the Hellgate trailer is playing.
She already asked that. You already answered that.
Oh, that's right, Saya. Were you not listening to me?
Maybe this is an older.
No, that I'm going by the time code.
She must have just not heard you for some reason.
Heather answered, says we're seeing it next week. Let me see. Okay, so I think this is it. The movie Spring made me cry. Yeah, that moved me emotionally.
Love that movie. So good.
Gaston says DJ was actually chill and fair about the animation, even though he didn't vibe with it. If he did that more often, he might actually win a debate sometime. I win debates all the time, Gaston. It doesn't matter whether I'm chill and fair. I am fair about almost everything.
You know, it's funny. I never once think about, did I win that debate? Because
I didn't think that either. Like I
don't ever think about it that way. I'm just like, we're just fucking discussing shit. Like I don't really think I've never really understood that in a lot of ways. Like even debate stuff, like how do you say who is the winner or the loser of a debate? Is it like if you convince the other person to take your side? Because that doesn't happen. Like,
I mean,
it's so rare ever that you're going to have a debate with someone that they're going to be like, you know what? At the end, you're right. I was wrong. Like, you know what I mean? So like, how do you gauge who's a winner and loser in a debate? I think it's more about just seeing it from both perspectives. It's like,
Mary says, I love the way
my goal is always to just simply get you to see my point of view and to understand and see your point of view. Even if I don't agree with it, a lot of times I come away not agreeing with what you said still, but at least having more of an understanding on why you think that. Like
Mary
with this,
says,
I have a much clearer idea of why you feel like it was a bad movie. I still don't agree, but I at least have context now and understand the layers and agree with a lot of what you said.
Mary says, I love the way you guys are debating. Chad says, enough with Predator, move on. We have nothing to move on to, Chad. We are ending the night after this. This was the main event.
I wanted him to go see, he just didn't get a chance, but I wanted him to go see Dangerous Animals, because I feel like we would have had a lot more fun talking about that one. Because I'll be surprised if you don't like that movie. Like it's not a fucking like home. I'm not saying you're gonna be like, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen, but just like I was pretty confident you would like Bring Her Back. You know, I feel the same way about this.
I love Bring Her Back.
Yeah, I don't know if you love this one, but I didn't know if you would love Bring Her Back either. But I was confident at the very least you would like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch it tomorrow. I will.
I feel like this has got some really good, well written characters too, and so like that's part of why
I hope so.
Because like the villain in this, like you don't get tons of backstory per se on everybody, but you get some. But more than that, like every character in it, it's something I have a big problem with a lot of indie movies is they put too many fucking people in movies. And so like when you have a very small budget, it's so much harder to make a successful movie because you're not going to be able to flesh out all these different characters. Like and you're also getting like a lot of times a bunch of not the greatest actors in your movie. But like with a small movie like this, the best ones are the ones that kind of just have a couple key people and then they just focus on those people. And if those people all have like very distinct, interesting personalities, it like gives a much better chance of being a good movie.
Yeah.
And like the villain in this, he's so fucking cool, dude. He's like I love him, man. He's like so unique. He's one of my favorite villains in a while.
Laura says, gotta love both your insights on movies. Sorry, I just wanted to get to that.
Because like he's got a lot of the elements of the guy from Wolf Creek. I'm forgetting his name, but like he's got a lot of those elements, that Aussie badass thing. But this guy is more, I don't know. It's kind of like if you were to take that guy and blend him with Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Like this guy feels like he's kind of takes both those and blend them together, and then add in the Grabber from Black Phone. It's like if you were to take those three different villains and blend them together, that's kind of where this guy is, with the little bit of his own as well, like mixed in. But
right on.
But he's like genuinely like a big scary guy. Like he's really muscular, really strong, and just genuinely like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of villains, serial killers or whatever, like even Long Legs, right? You're like, unless that guy got the jump on me, I'm not really scared of that dude. You know what I mean? Like he's not really that imposed. This guy's one where you're like, that guy's scary. Like he's genuinely big, strong, like country strong, like
country strong. I like it. Nice.
Yeah, like that working man strength, or dad strength, whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah. Like it's a little different than weightlifting. It's like, this guy's like a fucking captain of a ship and like, big old, yeah. So I don't know. Fucking cool.
Oh,
movie.
Chris with a super chat. $2.49 says thanks for recommending Bring Her Back, Kay. Amazing. That's such a good movie.
I'm glad you saw it.
It's such a good movie.
Yep.
All right. I think that's gonna do us, because I need to drink water.
Man,
my throat is dry.
I want this car.
and you need to buy this car.
But yeah, got approved for the loan. It's just,
well, congratulations.
Well, the thing is, the car, it's not a matter of getting a car. It's, I don't want any of the cars that they have right now, because I'm getting like a certified used car.
Yeah.
I don't want it in the other ones. It's like, I don't want to spend more than like $500 a month. And I want something that's little and gets like as good of gas mileage as possible.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't get like a hybrid, because that would be more like $600 or $700 a month. And I'm like, no, not doing that.
So much.
It is, especially when you also add in car insurance. I'm like, I can't be spending close to $1,000 a month for a fucking car. Yeah.
Clever Cleaver says serial killing with sharks as the weapon is a wildly original concept. Shows that filmmakers are invoking imaginative creation again. Yeah.
Yes, but it's cool because you don't know from the trailer. And if you've seen it, don't spoil it in the chat. But like, it's not that simple either. Like I said, it's more of like, he's got like this really interesting ritual. So it's not a matter of just like, like in the trailer, you could tell he's throwing people to the sharks, whatever. But like, it's more than that. Like, and it's cool. Like his whole ritual and like what he does as his, like his, souvenir or whatever you call it, when you kill someone and you keep a piece of their hair, whatever. Like those are the elements about this that make it unique too, and original and fun. Like, it just makes him extra creepy. But more than that, you genuinely like the like final girl, and the like, you really like and really want the people to survive in this. And it's the most intense. That's why I want you to see it in a theater, because this is one of the most intense movies I've seen in a very long time. Like, I genuinely didn't know who was going to live and who was going to die, because throughout the entire movie, characters that you think, okay, that person's going to live, doesn't. And people that you're like, okay, they're going to die, they may not. So like, it really does a good job of keeping you guessing to like literally the last frame. It's another one of those movies too, where it's like going. Okay, I'm done. You know what I mean? It doesn't have one of those like slow down, long conclusions, moment to feel good about yourself. Like, yay, kumbaya. It's not like that. It's just like, okay, we're done. So anyway,
alrighty.
Really like it. Good movie.
Well, that's going to do us. So thank you for joining. Thank you for fighting with us in the chat. It's always fun. Sorry we don't get to them until the end. But,
I always wonder if eventually people will get little flags and be cheering, like have their Canaan flag or the GJ flag and be like in the Romans, you know what I mean? Like all like.
But it was great. Next week, the Hellgate trailer is exclusively on Death Rattle Podcast. So make sure you tune in to see that. It is my feature film that everyone is going to give a 1-star when they realize that the writing is not to the level that I hold everything else to. I'm just anticipating that. Everyone's going to be like, this.
No, the
But
only
anyway,
things that would hold your movie back is like just like my buddy Josh. It's hard to make a fucking movie when you have almost no resources.
Yeah,
You know,
it
it's
is.
like, you know, if you have $1 million or, you know, then it's different. But like when you're talking about literally like, you know, tens of thousands, if you're lucky, it's super fucking hard to do, you know? And so you're always having to kind of move your writing around and figure out, okay, well, let's, you know, and like, so, and then beyond that, a lot of it has to do with your cast. Like you got fortunate and some of the people that you worked with, I think did a pretty damn good job on camera, but you know,
I think they did too. All right. That's it.
There are a few people.
Hey, you always get it. Next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, and then whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching the Death Rattle podcast. We will see y'all next week. Deuces.